Bienvenidos. Soy la Bruja Espinada and I'm here with your message of the week. So let's get started. When asked, what is needed by the watcher this week? What came out was the Wheel of Fortune. Now the Wheel of Fortune has a lot to do with cycles, with the changes. It's a wheel. It keeps going in a circle. It has to do with karma. It has to do with luck, opportunity. So a lot of things have been changing, and it's kind of fitting considering that it's the beginning of a new month. We just celebrated the first day of spring, I believe like 2 weeks ago, and then on top of that, just last week was the new moon. So it's a new lunar cycle, and it's a new zodiac year. So a lot of newness is happening. There's a lot of change happening, and this is what this signifies, and that's what's needed. You need some change. And when it highlights karma, it's telling you it's a reminder that, especially with this card, what you put out into the world comes back to you. If you put out bad, bad comes out to you. If you put out good, good comes back to you. Keep that in mind with all these changes that are approaching you at this time. How to get this, how to get your good karma, how to get this good luck, these good opportunities, for all this goodness to start coming in. What came out was the Ace of Blades. The Ace of Blades has a lot to do with raw intellectual energy. It has a lot to do with communication. It has a lot to do with cutting out that bullshit. It's a big old knife. It's a big old blade. It's letting you know, time to cut some shit out. But not only that, it's telling you right now, especially right now that this new cycle is coming in, right now is the time for focus. You need to focus. Right now, you need to start planning your goals, especially because it's new. Remember, new cycle, new stuff. You need to start planning your next step forward. How you're going to get whatever it is that you're trying to attain. How are you going to start putting that goodness out so you can keep getting it back? Start planning for that. Start focusing. Cut the shit. Cut the bullshit. Now's the time to, put your foot forward and quit just putting it off. Now is not the time to put it off. Right now is the time to put it in motion. If you've had any obstacles, this is also a really good time to start thinking of new ways, or start focusing on the ways to start getting all of that out of your path so you can overcome it. Now, when asked what needs to be given, what came out was the Ace of Elixirs, the King of Blades, and the Ace of Rods. You have a lot of aces. Aces are all about new, brand new starts. And especially with it may not be January, but it's the start of a new month. We just had the start of spring. We just had the start of the new lunar cycle. Again, the start of a brand new zodiac year. Right now is the time to get shit done. Take this as your sign. Because let me tell you. Now, what came out first was the Ace of Elixirs. The Ace of Elixirs has a lot to do with emotion, has a lot to do with intuition, a lot of spiritual energy. So this is telling you not just to focus, but it's telling you to follow your heart. Start listening to intuition, especially when you're making these plans and these goals to move forward and get good things to come into your life. Right now, you really need to start. Not only do you have to think about what it is that you want, but you have to feel what feels good to you. Is this truly what's going to resonate with me in my future? Is this really going to feel good as I continue moving forward? Not only do you have to focus on what it is that you want, but is it going to feel good once you get it? Is it going to feel good moving towards it? Now, with the King of Blades, it's telling you that you have to use your intellect. So it's not just all about your emotion, but it's about using your mind too, on getting that focus and planning these things out and cutting out all the bullshit that's no longer necessary. If there's a lot of obstacles, and mind you, this is what this was kind of pointing out too in regards to resolving obstacles. If there's obstacles that you're dealing with, this card is telling you, you got to start thinking practically. You got to stop letting your emotions take over when it comes to holding you back and preventing you from moving forward, right now is the time to cut that bullshit out. You focus, cut that bullshit out. Does it still feel good? If it doesn't, cut that shit out. You don't need it to move forward, and you can't move forward if it's weighing you down. Cut that bullshit out, especially when it comes to removing your obstacles. Now, on top of that, we have the Ace of Rods. The Ace of Rods has a lot to do with passion. It has a lot to do with trusting your gut, trusting your intuition. So emotion and intuition, passion and intuition. So it's telling you that right now, especially right now in this moment, with all these new cards, these newness that has to do with new and change, this is telling you that right now, you need to put that passion, that you have the passion right now that you want to start doing it, you need to apply that, trust your gut, start moving forward, because if you don't do it now, you're going to regret doing it later. That's because if you know yourself, and this is kind of what the cards are telling me, if you don't take the initiative to step forward and do this, you're just not going to do it. You're going to let it sit on the back burner and you're not going to get it done. So start cutting that bullshit. Focus on what it is that you want. Understand that if it feels good and you have the passion to do it right now, cut that bullshit and start getting it done. Now, on that note, when asked what of the Memento Mori deck, what message they had for this overall reading, get this. What came out was the Spirit Board and the Door. Both of these, this is why I was, wait till I tell you, both of these signify spiritual guidance. Both of them. Especially the spirit guide. This one is telling you, okay, not only is it mind frame, it's also a mindset. But this one especially is telling you that this is a message from the other side. If you've been trying to reconnect with your ancestors, if you've been searching for a sign, this is your sign. It's the message from the other side. This is in regards to spirit guides and messages that are meant for you. And then with the door, it's the same thing. It's a way to the other side. It's a way to another realm. It's letting you know that from the spirit realm, there is a message from the spirit realm. Hello, your spirit guides. But not only that, this is telling you that opportunity is knocking. And it's also a state of mind. This is a door. Whatever obstacles are there, are you going to stay and not jiggle the handle? You're not going to check if the door is locked or if it's open, and it's just up to you whether or not you want to cross to the other side? And not just in the sense of like, oh, I'm not ready for death. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about opportunity. Opportunity knocking. Are you going to answer the door? Are you going to try to escape your obstacles and struggles? Or you're just going to keep dealing with them if they're not your problem? So, those are the overall messages of your reading. Now, let's see what lesson you have to learn from the Enchanted Oracle deck. When asked what lesson they had for you, what came out was the Elegance card. And it's actually pretty fitting because today is Easter if you celebrate it. And the lily is represented here. And I'm going to read you the whole thing. Usually I just read you the message, but I'm going to read you the whole script. So, with Elegance, it says, there is a Japanese proverb. Her standing figure looks like a Chinese peony. Her sitting figure looks like a tree peony. Her walking figure looks like a lily. The lily here perfectly depicts grace and elegance. Growing profusely throughout the northern hemisphere, these bursting blooms are varied in color and shape, with new strains created by gardeners every year. The white lily is a well-known symbol of elegance, and as the fleur-de-lis, it has been associated with heraldry, religion, politics in France for many generations. This stylized lily was incorporated into the coat of arms of Joan of Arc's family, as well as many royal family crests. Look for beauty and grace in your everyday life, and you will find it. You may see grace in the movements of an artist, in the curve of a flower, or in the innocence of a child. Notice the delicate nobility in motion or sound. Bring elegance into your life through attention to your appearance, the way you carry out tasks, or the way you move through a room. Small touches can enhance the splendor in your life. Brighten a room with flowers, put on beautiful clothing, and eat a meal off the fine china. Adding some elegance in your life will elevate your mood and pull your attention to the beauty around you. It's actually really powerful, especially when it's coming to newness and change. It doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, you gotta act all hoity-toity, you have to act all snobbish, you have to act all... No, it's just saying pay attention to the way that you command your presence in a room. If you want to come off as powerful, take those steps to assert yourself in power, and that's not just being aggressive or anything like that. But if you stand up taller with your shoulders back and you think power, you exude power. You just don't slump and just sit there like a little lump. It's not going to work. If you want to come off as strong, as powerful, as elegant, as focused, all these things, if you want to come off giving this presence of what you want to feel inside, you will do it if you pay attention. And this is especially important if it's something you need to put out to get back. Remember, this is a lot to do with karmic cycles. If you demand, or no, if you put out that you want to be successful, you can exude that and it will come back to you. So remember, these changes are all very important, especially at this time. Take the opportunity, cut the bullshit. Do not let this opportunity pass you. Spirits are telling you, hey, focus, cut the shit, get that shit done. So I hope this message helps, and I will see you guys next week.